to the Daily Dish. I'm Candice Cooper, and we're here to talk all of your favorite offbeat pop culture, conspiracy theory, stuff that nobody's talking about or they are talking about, but we're going to give it a little twist. So welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dish. I have my afternoon midday cafe, as I like to say. I had my birthday dinner last night in true Capricorn fashion. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to put my coffee down here. In true Capricorn fashion, I wanted to go and get Thai food. So we went to my favorite Thai spot, and it was 8 o'clock. It wasn't late. And they're like, oh, the kitchen is closed. Okay, no problem. So we pivot. We head over to the Sugar Bowl, which is where I love to get ice cream in town. They also have food. I checked on I checked on Google. They said that they were open till 10. It's now like 8:25. We sit down, we scour over the menu, we decide on food. We're so excited, me and my friend Bree. And the waitress comes over to take our order. We're like, we're going to have this sandwich and this bowl of soup and whatever. And the waitress looks at us and she goes, the kitchen is closed, only ice cream. Okay. So now Bree got to my house and we hung out for a little bit. I opened the gifts that she brought me and we took a little walk. So had we not taken the walk, we probably would have been able to make it to dinner. It would have all worked out differently, but we had ice cream first. I got delicious pecan and cookies and cream with rainbow sprinkles. Delicious. And then we went and got tacos. So it all worked out. The taco place was open late. The ice cream was perfect. Honestly, the little kid in me was happy to have dessert first and then tacos second. But it was a great birthday. So random, like, duh. Okay, our birthday isn't going to fall on a Friday and Saturday every year. So I'll take a Tuesday birthday. I'll take my friend driving 45 minutes to come and see me on my birthday. I'm not complaining at all. So it was great. And today it was slow at the studio, so I just kind of like took it easy. I'm busy the rest of the week. So I took it kind of easy today and I went food shopping, got some coffee, took care of the animals. So today, okay, you guys are going to laugh, but there was a woman in front of me who was in a beautiful Mercedes and her order was up on the board before I could drive away or like drive up to order mine. Or her order was up on the board. I drove up to place my order. I saw what she had ordered and I was like, you know what? I want to order what this beautiful woman in the Mercedes is ordering. So she got an iced Americano. I did do my own little twist on it. She didn't get sugar in hers. I got sugar in mine. So iced Americano with almond milk and 2 sugars. And I added some vanilla powder to it when I got home. And that is how I'm going to enjoy my afternoon. Because after this, I have stuff to do. So, this is like my second half of the day. I am not wearing any makeup. I have lipstick on, but I don't have a single stitch of makeup on my face. I woke up. I did my gua sha. I did my suction cup. I did my ice roller. I did because I ran out of my chlorella pills, which I love. And I swear to you, chlorella, it gives your skin just like this really healthy glow. I don't know if it's the vitamin C in it, whatever it is, it works. But I ran out and I'm trying to be a little bit stricter. So I had some chlorophyll in my fridge today. So I took 2 tablespoons of the chlorophyll to try to balance out the ice cream and tacos and chips that I ate last night. Oh, but as soon as I got home, took my makeup off, did my, toners and my face wash and lotion and everything like that. So it was a good day yesterday. It was a really good day. And now we're here today. What is today? Wednesday. Okay, so yesterday, it's so funny. I put out a TikTok and I said something along the lines of, Heather McDonald, why are you afraid of, are you afraid of the people who Cat Williams is talking about? I guess I'm a micro influencer. And I hear my cats trying to break into their cat food right now, even though I just fed them 5 seconds ago. So Heather McDonald had on Holly Madison, which I'm sure she was going to have Holly Madison on long before I micro influenced and said, why are you afraid of Hollywood Cabal? But she had Holly Madison on, and her and Holly Madison talked a lot about the Playboy model murders. I think the most influential murder from the Playboy era was Dorothy Stratton for me. What was that movie? Was it Star 56 or something like that? But she was so pretty, and she was so, just because you're pretty doesn't mean that you're street smart. You could be very pretty and kind of country bumpkiny and not really know who's going to swindle you or take advantage of you. And Dorothy Stratton was definitely such a victim of that. Her slimy boyfriend was her manager, and what he ended up doing to Dorothy was just absolutely insane. And watching that movie and that last shot of her, and I don't know if she was going to his house. I think she was going to his house, and he had that weird contraption that he had made to her on. Crazy. But Holly Madison covered a lot of the other famous Playboy murders. And it just makes me so thankful every single day that I am the cynical Capricorn woman that I am. Because when I lived in Hollywood, guys would definitely try to get me to go back to their houses or their fucking compounds. And I was anything that has, and at that time, Ron Spector, was it Ron Spector, had shot that waitress. And here's the thing. I don't know if it's my mom. She was nobody fucking cares about you, but it made me, when they were inviting me over, I just was no, no, no. Cause no, I'm the one that they fucking sacrifice. Okay. Cause nobody was gonna be where, or they weren't gonna have a crazy legal team to go after these people. So when Ron Spector shot the waitress in 2002 or whatever it was, or 2003, and then I had moved to LA in 2005, and these guys were yeah, come back to our house or come back here. And I was no, absolutely not. And they were talking about how, because in 2005, there were no Ubers. There were, if I remember correctly, in 2005, I'm pretty sure, now somebody let me know if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure there was a service called the Jameses, and you could call a guy and he would show up on a scooter and put his scooter in the back of your car and then drive you home in your car. I never used that service, and please let me know if I'm wrong, if this is a myth or lore or something like that, but I never used that service. However, when I had first moved to Hollywood in 2005, I went out with my roommate, with our neighbor, and my roommate had worked on, oh my God, it was with Josh Duhamel, Las Vegas. So my roommate was like a PA on that show. And then our neighbor was a stunt driver. And I was only 21. I was so green. Holy cow. I was a baby. And me, the neighbor stunt driver, and his friend, I just went out with these three guys to a bar on Sunset. Couldn't get a cab home. I had too much to drink that night. And I started to get like a weird feeling. So I stepped outside to call a cab. The cab said it was going to be $40. And as I was talking to the cab driver or the cab service, my neighbor walked out and he goes, "I'll take you home. Come on, we'll go home." Anyway, long story short, we ended up getting into a very bad car accident. The fucking car rolled over. It was a like old Isuzu Rodeo and it didn't have any airbags. I don't know if that was a blessing. I don't know if that was a curse. I survived, but I got fucking hurt. It was very dramatic. And that was 2 weeks after I had moved to LA. And that was why I only lasted about 8 months in LA that time. Something about the astrocartography in LA where it's like very get out. Like it's like, Candice, I know you love it here. I know you, it's pretty, get out. So it made me think when Holly was talking about the girls, having to sit on the curb and not being able to get a car service and just like being in the hills. And it's so, you don't know. I mean, like, I didn't know where I was going in the hills of Hollywood or LA, you know what I mean? So just to think of all the women who in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s and even the early 2000s who were living in LA, going to these house parties, feeling unsafe, leaving, and then not having a safe way to get home. It's very scary, very, very scary. And I don't know what it is about Mulholland Drive, but Mulholland Drive is like haunted to me. And when you look up the history of Mulholland Drive, it's very, very interesting. The guy was in charge of building the dam, and then the dam broke and like had all these issues. It was crazy. So for me, I just think Mulholland Drive is haunted. I think a lot of LA is just haunted. If there was a way to like overlay an X-ray ghost machine on it, like I just could imagine like so many entities being around everybody at all times from all different eras, I don't know. But I loved listening to Holly Madison on Heather McDonald. I think Heather is listening to everybody's input and she is making a big effort not to talk over people. And I think when it comes to people talking over other people, it doesn't always mean that they don't want to hear what you have to say or they don't care. I think it has a lot to do with people not wanting to lose their train of thought and having a good question, wanting to be able to hold on to that question and jumping over you because like, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. You know what I mean? So I don't really think that Heather is doing it in a disrespectful way. I think she is inquisitive and she doesn't want to lose her train of thought. She doesn't want to lose her question. But I really loved this interview. I also think she did a great interview with the girl who does the impressions. She does the Kristen Cavallari impression and she does the Teresa Giudice. I call her Giudice, but it's Giudice in America. Teresa impression. I was cracking up because it was like 7 a.m. I was coming back from a 6 a.m. hot yoga class and I'm listening to Heather and this girl. I don't know why I can't remember her name. She is such a good impressionist. Some people just have it, but she could do Teresa so well, and she sounds just like Kristen Cavallari. It is wild. It is totally wild. So good. But yeah, I really enjoyed the last two interviews that Heather did. Look, I love Heather. I love Jeff. I I I love them all. And you know, a lot of the podcasters and the YouTubers, they're like, "Oh, I went on so and so show. They were really, really nice. And then I heard in a Facebook group that they were really mean." Here's the thing. When we're talking about these people, I don't know any of these people. Let's say 3 years from now, I meet them and I end up really liking this person or not really liking that person at all. Um, and then they, have somebody say like, "Oh, well, Candice, episode 10 of Daily Dish, really just went on and on and on about how she didn't like this, and this." It's an interesting world that we're living in because really it is the peanut gallery on steroids. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone has a YouTube. Everyone has an opinion. And sometimes you think, you say whatever you want. I'm never going to meet these people. Then you end up meeting them. So when it comes to my commentary on Heather or Jeff, I feel like I've gotten frustrated with Heather as a listener and voiced my opinion. We don't want to hear you talk over your guests anymore, you know? But if I ever met her in real life, obviously I totally respect her and everything she does and her longevity and her dedication. And I find it very inspiring to me. And I follow a lot of really cool women on here that are really inspiring to me. So Daily Dose of Donna, and I really like Sarah from Texas, and I like a few of the guy commentators. They're cool too. It's like the guys who have podcasts and YouTubes, I confuse them the way I confuse Meredith Marks and Lisa Barlow. I can never get them right. They look the same. Like even when they're standing next to each other, I'm like, "Oh my God, which one is which?" But there are a lot of people that I follow on here that I super admire. I might have commentary on how they do their shows or the flow of their show or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, no disrespect, it's total admiration. And watching, Daily Dose of Donna, she put in the dedication and the work, and so did Sarah from Texas, and their channels are huge and they're blowing up and they're consistent. It's their consistency that people really respond to. So I super respect everyone on this platform. I find a lot of inspiration from everybody, and there are billions of people in the world, so therefore there are plenty of people who want to watch all of our channels. And also, when it comes to the Heather McDonald's and the Jeff Lewis's, like, we're also there for you guys when you kind of falter a little bit or you're not on top of. Look, when you're in this business for 20 years, you're going to have a year or two where it's not your best. You're going to have a month where you're a little bit off. You're going to have a few months where you talk over your guests. And it just is what it is. We're humans. We're not robots. And it's a flow. So I am excited. Heather has a new set. I don't know if it's just a temporary set, if it's a permanent studio change. I'm interested to see how people respond to it. Yeah, because honestly, like, this is my set, my home for now. And I'm changing it too. Every day it's going to change a little bit here and there, until I find the look that I love and that, becomes the signature. So it's interesting. What do you think of Heather's new set? What do you think of her last two interviews? Are you happy that you're sticking with it and you're continuing to be a supporter and a fan and a viewer? I am. I've been in front of the camera for the entirety of my life, essentially. And I know that some years were good, some years are bad. But I'm here for it. I'm here to be a viewer and a listener, and I'm learning, and I love all of them. Now, Jeff did have on Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator, and the way they break Doug's balls, I mean, if anything, I'm like, why is Jameson? He was a clown. Now he teaches kid improv. I will say that Jameson has grown on me. I used to find him to be like very annoying, but he's grown on me. And I love hearing about his relationship with Frank. And I mean, I could listen to Doug talk about his bed emailing him all day. I think Doug is so cute. Doug, Carney, to be honest, as pain in the ass-ish as Jeff is, he really does know how to pick an entertaining crowd. Like, everyone he has on is funny, is quirky, is a little bit offbeat, and that's what I love. That's the stuff I want to cover. The kooky, offbeat, funny, niche. I love that. I love it. Jeff knows how to pick a co-host. He really does. So when they have Chris Hansen on, obviously they joke about the subject matter and they make fun of Doug and, how close are you to catching Doug and all of that stuff. And, poor fucking Doug. He's such a good sport. He really is. As a Capricorn, I want to see him, because really I want to see me too. I want to see us find the loves of our lives who accept us for all of our quirkiness, all of our, like weird knowledge that we have. That Doug loved a Reader's Digest, because I know that I loved a Reader's Digest, and I was that kid who just had all of this really weird random knowledge. And like in 6th grade, kids would be like, what the fuck? What? And I was like, read it in Reader's Digest. So I feel a kinship to Doug. We already have, thankfully, we've gotten Shane and Brogan. They're paired up. So we have one Capricorn happy and in a relationship. Now I want to see Doug happy and in a relationship. Jenny Poulos is another Capricorn. She had to get fucked over majorly by her first husband. And now she's happily married with 2 children. So I just think Jeff knows how to pick them. And I love them. I don't think I necessarily love the Chris Hansen episodes, because it's yes, they're making fun of like these weird perverted guys, but is it really Jeff Lewis material? I don't think so. We want to laugh. We don't want to think about creepy predators out there. So maybe they could save Chris Hansen for the after show. And whatever. Like I said earlier, not every show is going to be a hit for us. Not everything is going to be our favorite episode. Oh, let's see. Yep. Oh my gosh. Can we talk about the fight on Southern Charm and how JT got on a stool? He got on the stool to like have a face off with Austin. Are you kidding? Production had to get involved. What a way to end the night. I swear, the South is so juicy and dramatic and filled with gossip. And it is just so Southern. It's so Southern. 55-year-old Whitney builds out like a little man cave in his, behind his mom's house, has like a fancy party. And because like the men are fighting over a blonde, there's a fight and it's so dramatic. And I'm like, holy fucking cow. I feel like I wonder how old Patricia is, because if Whitney is like 53, 55, how old is Patricia? 90? She took a tumble and you could hear in her voice that she's lost a little bit of her razzle dazzle. I love her friendship with Madison. I really do. I think she's very much like a maternal figure to Madison. I think she cares about Madison. And I just think it's like very sweet. I don't know. I find their friendship very charming and endearing. And I wonder, does Madison still do her hair? Does Madison still do hair? I wonder. I don't know. And I think that it was just very recently that Madison lost her dad. That's so sad because her parents seem very, very young. So it's terrible that she just lost her dad. But I find her relationship and friendship with Patricia to be very sweet and endearing, and I like it. And, I watched a little bit of the reunion. They're very entertaining. They're all good looking and they're entertaining, but somebody had posted something on TikTok about how cringy JT was. And it's like a video of him like putting his hair behind his ear. I started laughing so hard. And Austin's like, JT, you're just so jealous of me. You're so jealous. And obviously, JT is super jealous of Austin because JT comes up to Austin's like waist. I don't know why us women are programmed to want the douchebags, but we do. We do. But apparently there is tea on the street being spilled that JT is super dramatic in relationships. I see it all over the TikTok. And these girls are like, oh my God, he dated my friend. And everyone's like, spill the tea. So he's a fucking nerd. I'm sure he's like a nerd. And I like that he is giving Shep and Austin a run for their money. Just for the fact that I don't think anyone has ever stood on business or like gone toe to toe with them. But it's kind of refreshing. I wish somebody would have done that with Thomas Ravenel, because now Thomas Ravenel is saying that Olivia used him. Olivia was 20 and Thomas was like 55 when they hooked up. So that's another thing about the South is I really think that they seem to always want to pin it on the woman. She's crazy. She's dramatic. She's this, she's that. You guys are like the worst of the worst. You're the worst offenders and you always blame it on the women. And I just can't believe that Thomas Ravenel was engaged to a girl named Candice and he left her at the altar. Candice, what a fucking blessing. It would have been a nightmare. Catherine is such an unfortunate casualty of the Thomas and Catherine situation. Olivia posted a picture of her and Catherine kissing and they're friends and they're close. And I love that. And I really am happy that Catherine has a support system. I didn't think that Danny Bard was a good support system for her, but if Olivia is, I hope that she needs all the support that she could get. She was taken advantage of. I could talk for hours about the Catherine and Thomas situation and how he drug her for filth. It was horrendous. I feel so bad for her. And God, if I were in her shoes and had my children taken away and couldn't see them, I would plunge into addiction as well. Like I empathize with her. She shouldn't have run over the crossing guard or the cops foot. Obviously, don't do that. But I feel really bad for her. And here Thomas goes again, dragging Olivia, saying that a 20-year-old used him. Used you for what? Just looking at pictures of him, I cringe. You could just see the entitlement. Smarmy is a great adjective that comes to mind. He's very smarmy. He's like swashbuckling and smart. He's just creepy. I look at him and I'm like, I see the devil in that face. I feel so bad for Catherine. She was like a sacrifice. So, onward and upward, friends. So I'm going to go. Thank you for joining me again today for another episode of The Daily Dish. I'm Candice Cooper. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm going to cook some dinner and I'm going to work out. And remember, listen to me, you guys and gals. Gua sha oil, drinking olive oil, regular facials, exercise, coconut water. The best anti-aging ever. Okay, so I wanted to come on here, no makeup. My brows aren't even filled in. I haven't been wearing mascara. I've been on like a mascara break. We don't have to do all these crazy things to our face. Okay, look, if you have like crazy TMJ, get the Botox. If you have sweating issues, get the Botox. If you have, something, but if it's just to anti-age, I promise you, you could do it on your own. Get a gua sha. I gua sha today. What a difference. I do half of my face and I compare and I'm like, holy cow, what a crazy difference. And my mom, she used to wear regular old Scotch tape on her forehead. And I'm a big fan of wearing the facial tape. So facial tape, gua sha, olive oil, oils, moisture. And we could all age gracefully. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the recent Heather McDonald episode. Did you enjoy Chris Hansen on Jeff Lewis? What do you think of Southern Charm? Is JT like a little squirrel? We don't know. So until next time, until tomorrow, have a great night, and I will see you on the next episode.